Live.
Alright, oh, we
That is a
are we live? Yeah.
About to be.
We are live, yes.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
good.
Sorry, Scott, I was trying to go live on the.
It's okay, I'll, do we know if Michelle's gonna be here?
She didn't say she wouldn't. So
Okay,
that's
so
fine.
we'll move on and, yeah. Just let me know,
I'm not gonna do that. It's okay. We'll still have the recording, I'll have to ask the city clerk about that. Okay.
oh, we're on, okay. Good evening. Welcome to the September 25th, 2025 Social Service Human Relations Board meeting. This meeting is being recorded. The chat function has been turned off. If members of the public would like to comment on an item, please digitally raise your hand or email Gracia Manayon, GMANAHAYON@alamedaca.gov. Comments submitted during the meeting before the conclusion of the public comment section will be read into the record. Her email address is also on the meeting's agenda. If you are calling in by phone, please email Ms. Manayon, as we cannot see your hand, raise your hand. You can also dial *9 to raise your hand and we will call on you. Public comments will be limited to 3 minutes. The public has 2 opportunities for public comments. Wait, this is the best part. First, under agenda item 2, public comments from the audience may concern matters not on the agenda, but must deal with matters subject to the jurisdiction of the Social Service Human Relations Board. Second, in each agenda item, there will be an opportunity for public comment on the specific item. Each item will follow a format similar to city council meetings. First, after presentation, we will ask if there are any clarifying questions from the Shrub members for staff. Second, we will ask if there are any comments on this agenda item. And last, after public comment, we will open the item up to board discussion and a vote if recommended. This meeting is now called to order at 7:02 p.m. We will do roll call. Bernie Wolf here. Diane Michelle Omi
Here.
Gerald Bryant here. Michelle Buckles
Here.
Samantha Green and Scott Means here. And from the Housing and Human Services Division, we have Gracia Manayon, Program Manager, and Shelby Neal, Administrative Specialist. This will be your first meeting, so welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Item number 2 is non-agenda public comments. The city welcomes speakers providing public comment, but please be advised, this is a limited public forum. Comments from the audience may concern matters either on or not on the agenda, but must deal with matters subject to the jurisdiction of the Social Service Human Relations Board. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Comments concerning matters on this evening's agenda will be heard when that item is called. If speakers fail to follow these rules, they will be warned, and if they continue to disregard the rules, their opportunity to speak will end. Do we have any speakers, Gracia?
We did not have any public comment.
Okay. We can move on then to item number 3, which is the review and approval of the minutes for August 22nd, 2025. Samantha has brought the motion.
I second.
Seconded by Michelle. We're all here, so all is in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed? Passes. All right. Item number 4. We're going to be now voting on upcoming meeting changes, and Gracia Manayon will be the one who's presenting this to us.
Thank you, President Means. I did want to mention we have a funny speaker thing here today. It's a little shorter, the line, I mean, like a literal speaker, not a person speaker. So we might want to speak up so that when we look back at the recording, we can hear folks. Okay, so I have an item for you all in terms of rescheduling a couple meetings. One is traditionally one that you all combine due to the holidays. And the other is to accommodate a shrub event. Somehow, oh, there we go. I've been on Teams for too long. Okay. So this was the staff report you all received. Your October meeting is scheduled for Thursday, October 23rd. This is during United Against Hate Week. And the AUAH committee will be holding a film screening that evening. There weren't very many dates that they would be able to do it, so to accommodate that and for you all to be able to attend as well, we are proposing to move the meeting to the previous night at the same time and the same place. So I'll give folks a minute. I know, check the calendars.
Do we then vote on that?
Yeah, so we'll vote one by one like we do
Okay.
the minutes. Yeah. Does somebody want to make a motion?
I motion to approve the new date.
I'll second
All right, all those in favor?
it. Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed? Unanimously passes.
Okay, great, thank you. And then the second item was your original meeting date is going to, so you actually don't have a meeting scheduled for November, December. You all typically combine to one meeting at the beginning of December. I think I said that funny, but you all would, we are proposing that you have your November, December meeting on Thursday, December 4th.
Oh, so not.
Same time, same place. No, because November, December for the holidays, you all usually combine into one meeting.
Right, we do that.
And
last-
the fourth
Find out.
Thursday is Thanksgiving.
Right.
Yeah, okay, so December 4th.
Mhm.
Yeah, so no November meeting and no
No.
regular December.
Yeah, same reason.
The only thing I just want to think about is, I think that was the meeting we would plan on celebrating our volunteers. For our
Yeah.
volunteer award ceremony. And I think, do we want to make sure there's no other other community events on that date?
It's on a Thursday.
When does,
You mean like holiday stuff?
I'm thinking of other events, I know that they do the. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is like any school, like, things, or if they're, cause we're high school students, I think their Christmas break is later, so that's, we're fine. The only thing I could think of that typically happens there is that Christmas tree lane thing, but I don't think that's on a Thursday, I think they do that on like a Friday. Do you know what I'm talking about? They have like yeah, they do like a whole event, but I don't know.
It would be.
It wouldn't be on a Thursday, yeah, so I think that should work, I just wanted to be mindful. Back
Yeah.
end of the calendar, if there was any,
I haven't heard of any community events that conflict. There may be something that pops
Yeah.
up and then we can reconsider.
but. I feel like the, like, winter concerts and stuff like that, or things are later, a little bit later, so
Right.
at least we're kind of above.
Just get busy.
It's, I motion to approve.
I'll second
But before we go and vote, there was. Want to make sure, because it's on here, that was there any comment from the community about the change? I just want to make sure someone doesn't come back later and say we never offered an opportunity for them to move this. So, yeah,
No, we have no public comment on this item.
great, just want to make sure you cross the T's here. Excellent, everyone. Then we have a second, so we can go ahead and vote. There's no other comments from the board? All those in favor?
it. Aye.
Okay.
Opposed? Unopposed? Unanimously passes. All right. Good job, everyone. Wow, we're really flying through this agenda.
Last meeting was pretty robust.
Yeah.
I asked
Yeah.
people to do their presentations during this meeting, but everybody wanted August. So
Yeah.
September got left a little thin.
That's okay. I think we will have a robust conversation about at least one of the work groups, I predict.
Yeah.
So, this item is for board discussion only. There's no staff presentation, so we'll go directly. Oh, let's go directly to public comments. Any public comments on this?
What, yeah, and ask her what item. I do have a presentation stuff, but it's under staff communications, it's the 6-month report,
Oh,
so yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on.
okay,
Okay,
alright,
no public comment for this item.
great. Do any of the work groups wanna present first?
Yeah, I mean. We can, okay. Tweeting,
Copies?
don't, I'm not sure, I don't think they have yet, but, okay, so. Couple of things on the list. So Scott was kind enough to reach out to Tracy Jensen and see about having her take a look at our resolution, and she said she'd be interested in doing so. And we also have 2 dates on the board currently, October 1st or October 6th. I don't know, have we gotten a response back on that one yet?
For what, I'm sorry?
This was the United Against Hate Work Group meeting to discuss the draft of the race equity.
Oh, you mean
Resolution.
meeting with her?
Yes,
Yeah, no, I haven't got a response back, sorry.
okay, that was the first one.
And it's because I did meet with Tracy and the city attorney.
Okay,
And so I was going to bring it up as part of the discussion here.
okay,
And then
Well, I'll let
you can decide how you want to proceed with Tracy.
okay, I'll let you do that part then, and
Okay.
I'll just keep going with the rest of our.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. We also have a screening coming up for the United Against Hate Week program, which will be coming up on, of course, October 23rd, 6 p.m. It'll be taking place here at City Hall Chambers. In honor of our United Against Hate Week this year, we're not going to do a poetry slam. We're gonna go with the movie. The name of the movie is Bias. It talks about biases in general and how they affect people's lives around the country and around the world. And it's pretty thought-provoking kind of a movie. I've seen bits and pieces of it on YouTube. And the trailer is good. If you go to the website, you can actually see a trailer yourself. Matter of fact, I think we had a document. I'll have to look now, but we had a document that was the picture for our, I guess I see the
Banner?
yeah, for the banner that actually showed the,
Show it on the screen.
yeah, that's what I was wondering. Do you guys have
The banner.
Yeah.
The banner design.
we had that, and it essentially has
Um,
a QR code and,
I'm not logged into.
Oh, yeah, we do.
oh, okay, yeah. So
We should send it around.
we have, yeah, we should. We've got a flyer that's going out that has the name of the movie and the description of it, and it's got a little link on the bottom that everybody will be able to click on and go to. There's also, I think it's a QR code on there, right? Yeah, and the QR code is on there as well. So you'll be able to get a chance to actually see what biases look like and be prepared for the movie. It should be a really wonderful program.
Is it a documentary or a?
Yes,
Oh, sorry, QR code on the flyer or the banner?
on the flyer.
Oh, no, I don't think the flyer does not have a QR code, the banner that you
Okay.
all are working on has a QR code.
So it has a link then, right?
It has a link.
Okay,
yes,
that's-
it has
that's-
a link on to the trailer.
That's what I remember.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, you can click on the link and it'll take you to the YouTube trailer and you see bits and pieces.
Oh, and go ahead.
Gerald, did you want me to circulate the flyer? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
To the board? Okay.
Yes, please.
So that is easy to pull up because
Not
it's on the
okay.
city website.
Okay,
So it's already on, we've started to promote it and it's on the city website.
thank you,
We
thank
thought
you.
you meant
I thought you meant
the
the
banner,
banner.
the purple banner.
No, I wanted to show the
The
flyer
flyer, okay.
because that's what everybody that
Yes.
will be seeing coming up pretty soon here. We'll want them to actually
Yes.
get
and
that.
attend.
Yeah,
Please come.
please come, please come. There you go. That's it right there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Share your screen.
And if you hit the more with the 3 buttons up there, you can click on that and it'll actually hide. You click and say hide the video panel and the floating controls, hide the floating controls as
If you
well.
want to see the trailer, Pretty cool.
high flow controls. Yep, excellent. And now that's where the trailer is. Do we have time enough to see the trailer? You guys want to see it? Okay.
Agenda's so packed today.
Quick question, am I sharing sound? Do we know if I'm sharing sound?
Should,
Yeah, I think it was.
it
On
should.
Teams, there's a separate function for it. as you
Zoom,
know.
it does.
Zoom is automatic.
Mhm.
It does that.
Does it automatically? Okay.
Yes. High floating panel.
Thank you.
Sweet. Mhm.
Hmm.
It did not push it through. That's-
No.
You can put subtitles on it at least.
You wanna read the trailer?
I feel like I put up subtitles and everything these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right now.
This is impact.
There we go. Yay. You're
Implicit bias.
Implicit bias.
Implicit bias, which means unconscious bias.
What is unconscious bias?
All of the horrible things that we do to each other and that we pretend we don't do.
I feel like everyone has the bias, no matter the color. There are countless biases that affect all of us. I wanted to explore unconscious bias and how it relates to gender and race. Where does it come from? What is its impact? And is there anything we can do to change it? We evolved over millions of years to have the kind of brains that we have today, to be suspicious of people who are different from us. We should ask ourselves, is that useful in the modern world?
You as a neighbor on next door, don't create one of these posts thinking, I'm about to stereotype an entire race.
I would like to not have to scan my neighborhood for who's watching me and thinking I'm a threat.
Your data suggests a moderate automatic association for harmless objects with white Americans and weapons with black Americans. Objective quantitative studies show that men and women both perceive women different and lesser. The news about toxic culture, workplaces saturated with sexual harassment and pay inequality is relentless. I have this sense that if I fail, it'll be like, well, you see, this is why we don't invest in women.
When you're standing across the table from the people who are writing your checks, telling you that you don't deserve this, that's hard because you're literally putting your body on the line.
Bias at its core is a survival heuristic. You can have that gut feeling. It just has to be based on something that actually matters. We tend to think about our own behavior as somehow more fair and free of bias than it is.
We're concerned about bias being introduced into AI. It's already there. We're the one teaching AI.
Trying to understand what is at the base of some of my perceptions and judgments, that's what led me on this journey.
It's great.
Yes. So encouraged to come out and check it out. I'm sure it will be a wonderful day. We're also supposed to be getting a panel together to have brief discussions afterwards about bias programs and things that we can do in our community to maybe change that. So that'll be good. Oh, and we will be serving food as well. Food's the biggest convincer. Most people say food. Okay. So we hope you will come down and join us. Hope you will enjoy it. What else do we have? We have the proclamation for the United Against Hate Week. We've fortunate enough that we had Diane able to spin one up so that we can get it in front of the mayor, hopefully before, hopefully.
They did it.
They did it? You did it?
Aggressive.
You did it? Yo, you rock. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you. I was wondering because I was like, wow, I had zero time to actually get through this. Thank you for being there. Really, really appreciate it. So,
Yeah, proclamation is gonna go to the city council on the 21st.
I think it's being reviewed to go to city council, is
Reviewed.
my understanding.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything yet.
Okay, cool.
So what is on the proclamation?
would you like to read it?
Or we can't,
We can't do that.
Okay,
It's not publicly available.
so I can't get it to the rest of the.
Oh.
Okay.
that makes sense.
let's just say it's a good proclamation that talks about the Alameda Unite Against Hate program and us being part of the national movement. So,
It's related to the resolution.
Yeah.
saying that.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we should be able to, it should be posted publicly soon, because we're actually late, because it'll be for the October 21st city council meeting. So it should be public soon, if it is, I don't think it's posted yet.
I think because I was on Zoom, I missed, can you just make sure I'm clear? The resolution that we had, that we all voted on was sort of, we weren't able to progress that forward, and so this is or I'm
they are
am I
separate,
missing something?
They all do separate things. I think
Yeah.
one thing, if you don't mind,
please.
so, proclamations can be for lots of different things. It's usually to celebrate something or to recognize, something. There's no legislative power with that way, because it's not usually typically like a mayor can have a proclamation. In some ways, being age-friendly cities was kind of like a proclamation. But no, resolution is kind of taking it to the next step. It's like almost looks like a proclamation, but also resolutions are used to authorize expenditures and stuff too.
Oh.
And then there's the third thing, which is a council report. And that's when you actually explain everything you're going to do and what you plan to do in great detail. And sometimes that includes direction for staff. Like,
Thank you.
and the whole reason why I'm explaining this is because that was actually the nature of our conversation. So,
Oh,
thank you for telling me that.
Got it.
No, so I met with the city attorney and Councilmember Jensen about this. So something has happened between the last time we met and this one. In fact, we kind of knew about it, but I don't know, it didn't really resonate to me until we were actually talking and saying, oh yeah, that did happen. So there was the LGBTQ.
Yeah.
Right, went to council.
Right.
So, they did it in the form of a council report.
Yeah.
Which was actually,
That was the report that we previewed.
Yep.
Yes.
You're right, which was done through referral of a council member, Tony Deson. And it includes actually like hard, real concrete things that they're actually directing staff to do.
Okay.
And I know, okay, so I know at one point we talked about like writing more reports or work planning reports. It's not something we want to like start do more of, right? But this isn't the same thing as that either. So I just want you to hear me out here. This is actually going to that council level, which I think is what you want. You want it to be on record. It's something that's actually passed and voted for by council. There's no real money attached or anything. So it's not a resolution, it's a council report. So if you want to use semantics, it is different. But the end result is council still votes on it. And the good thing about this is that, because I've read theirs in detail, I think it'd be a good idea, especially for both of you, to go online and this is all public. This is all public information. I can hand this over to you so you can find it easier. But there is a lot of teeth to it. This is moving things forward and not just generating another work plan. This is actually having city staff and directing city staff to do certain things to move things forward. So I would like you to consider that. Now, council reports are a little more like drawn out and boring and dry than resolution. Typically, what people put in them though is historical information, like that paper that you actually shared with me, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting the name of it now, but about the history of
The history.
yeah, in Alameda, yeah. But so there's things like that you can actually really suss out and draw out more if it's in the form of a report too, and really actually explain what you're doing. I'm sorry, I'm kind of filibustering here a little bit, but just I was thinking of the age-friendly movement in Oakland, and we were using council reports, and eventually money came through.
Okay.
And that's when actually the resolution happened, it was all about the communication plans and having my senior center and communications and that's where like, then money was attached and actually came into the program.
Okay.
So so we can keep things moving in that way. And here, I just wanna, I'm sorry, I wrote the words proclamation, resolution, report on here because of notes, but. So,
Well, what's interesting to me, what was that it was somewhat staff generated, right? The LGBT community. I mean, then Tony, did he?
staff didn't, what you're saying, Tony didn't write it, that's what
Yeah,
you're
right,
asking.
exactly.
No, he brought it,
Yeah, but he was willing to bring it.
he was going to bring it.
We
And
flagged it as a priority at a city council meeting and from then staff generated it because it was brought up as a city council priority.
Can I just clarify, so
Or
making
council
sure
member.
I'm understanding these? So we are concurrently proposing a proclamation, which just the mayor would decide on, or would council
That would
decide?
be specifically for the United Against Hate Week program.
yes,
Okay, so that is,
Specific.
just the mayor gets to decide yes or no, not city council.
Correct.
And that is just to celebrate the week. And then we had the
Resolution.
resolution that would be something that we've already discussed and reviewed.
Yes.
That then the city council would have to vote on and it becomes in record.
Right.
But it does not set policy.
it doesn't move policy forward like a report would do because it's directing staff.
Gotcha, okay, and then.
Monies can be transferred.
So the
in-
report is then maybe perhaps the next level.
So the resolution would be attached with money.
No, the report would have to do. it.
The
So
the report from what he was saying has no money.
No, it's the other way.
Report, you typically resolutions are. Typically resolutions can go, I'm sorry, no, but they can be, they go outside this, like someone's gonna listen to this and go, well, they can be this and this too, but typically resolutions. Are one of two things, it's authorizing the spending or use of money or allocating money to resources specifically.
Right.
So if they were gonna say after all this work we do the top support, we do all this stuff, and we figure out, oh my god, we need a race and equity director here, I'm just saying this.
Yes.
Right.
If,
Right.
okay, and then that could be in the council report, would be authorizing that position to be created. You know.
Oh, report not, right?
And you can also do the same thing, let's say money came in, the resolution would be like, this authorizes the city administrator to sign a contract with HUD to accept this money for housing. That's another way that.
And that's in a resolution, not
That's
a
also,
report.
that's a resolution too,
Gotcha.
usually that's accompanied by a report though, but
Right.
you have to have the resolution to authorize it. So you have these things get used in combination with each other a lot of times, but reports. So, with age friendly, the great thing was whenever we did the reports, things were always being added every time we had a new report. Because it would be requests, there would be some requests to do certain things, right? So specific things.
And then like our road home, was that, or that was a report, right?
It was a report and
Was
it
it-
was reviewed and accepted. by
But it
city
wasn't a
council.
resolution or anything.
No, and the resolution that this committee was bringing forward did not have money tied to it either. It
Yeah.
was more of directives for the staff.
Gotcha, okay,
Yeah,
thank you for clarifying
and
that.
spell, what I'm saying is you can beat it, but it's like a hereas kind of thing, right? Where a council report can actually is like a writing book report. You can actually detail things in, great detail what we want people to do. And how you want them to do it, methodology and all that kind of stuff. You can also, I don't know, I haven't looked very, very closely at the format, but usually there's a section where we can talk about history. And bring in that kind of stuff too, so you really have an impact. Like on that kind of document.
Thank you.
Thank you. I will definitely take a read on it. I just took pictures because it's so tiny, I won't want to try and burn my eyeballs out.
Yeah, if you want to hold on to it, you can, just if you want to like find it online and
Yes.
download some of the other documents, I can get on there.
Yeah.
I just think it's really important that we move forward and we don't do something that's just symbolic and it dies there too, so. That's why, I was really hopeful, if you want to request her, what's the term used on there? If you want to request,
Exclamation?
no, we want to request her to be not the author, the
Sponsor.
sponsor. I think. I can't remember if they told me that it had to come from staff or
Oh, I don't know. You mean for a report?
that because we would want to if we
need
wanted her to
some-
sponsor this.
Yeah.
We want to make a request for her to sponsor it.
So,
It could probably come from either, your board members. City
Yeah.
appointed.
so we could bring it to somebody on the city council and ask them
If they would sponsor it.
would sponsor it.
And I'm just, and you
But
could
you're
always find
talking
someone else,
about-
but Tracy said she would.
But you're
Okay.
talking about sponsoring a work plan, not. a
Yes, the
resolution.
work
Yeah,
plan.
not a risk.
She's definitely on board for sponsoring the work plan and following on the work plan and making sure the work moves forward on the work plan is what came in that meeting. So I just think,
Thank you.
consider all that. And, yeah.
Okay, then we'll keep that one in. And I don't, that we have much else. You had a bunch of meetings that we did in between that were about the program itself and getting the different things set up for the program, but most of that was based around that, and the proclamation was also part of it. So that, we did a lot for the last month. You guys did a lot for the
Yeah.
last month. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We're excited for the movie.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
We have 2 high school students that we're talking to be on the panel and to facilitate.
Okay, and I have not heard back from Rashid. I checked again. I left him a message just to see if he
Yeah,
would.
likewise.
Yeah.
But I don't want a big panel, cause I don't think people are gonna stick around.
I think, well, the 2 youth, one would be helping facilitate, one would be on the panel. So I mean, if you got like 2 more for the panel,
Okay.
that should be enough.
You know,
I have some question about, like, what's the recommended age for audience? Are we like junior high school, like?
7
is it
minutes.
audience?
So,
7 minutes.
High
also,
school?
I did actually start watching parts of the movie. And based on the content, I would say maybe at least middle school, but high school. There was not a rating on the
Yeah, I
documentary.
was wondering, yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll have to discuss that
to understand, yeah.
and to understand it in general at the
Right.
middle school for sure.
And,
Just curious. Make sure we don't set to make sure.
and I believe that's everything we have for our, did you have anything you wanted to?
No, that was it. But we wanna send it out so people can help us promote it, that would be great.
Yeah, and that was my follow-up question coming in, because we won't meet prior to the but Alameda isn't against hate, I was about to say.
The hate week.
I was like, no,
A whole lot in it.
What could we do to support you besides, like, because I know this is kind of your big crunch time, how can we support you guys?
Get the word out to as many people as you know, if there are
Yeah,
groups in
bring
school.
friends, family.
Get them all out, tell them. Post it on social media, if you have social media, let people know that this is what we're doing. So that they can come out and see it. That'd be the best support, yeah, it's more people that actually realize what biases are. And how those unconscious biases specifically affect things around us, the better we have an opportunity to have more listening from community at large.
Do we have ability to post it? I feel like the library there at the book drop off section, there's like upcoming events little thing.
Oh, yeah.
At the, there's like the flyer right there. I know most of it is library events.
Oh, we definitely can put city's flyer.
Yeah,
Flyer for
because I
city
feel like
events.
that's a pretty visible place.
Yeah, it's ironic you mentioned that because we were so focused on spreading the word virtually. Because I think last time the emphasis has been on paper flyers and that
Yeah.
hasn't been as successful. But
Yeah.
we should do both.
I mean, I feel like there I see things like
Yeah,
I
we
just
should
feel
just-
like people do look at that
Yeah.
place.
More faster. We just find that people really do with the flags.
Yeah.
That'd be a great place to put them too.
Yeah.
Did we know
We could-
Sarah Henry has any more of those United Against Hate Week flyer
Or
or
posters.
posters?
I never heard back from the communications director, so I'm assuming she doesn't have any. But I can follow up about that.
Would you,
Yes,
that,
absolutely.
because we would still like to get them out to the community, and if
Yeah.
you guys want to come.
Yeah,
Yeah, every time I
absolutely.
walk by my favorite places, I see that they still have them up, so I'd like to increase that number.
Yeah. Can you let us know so that we can help with the distribution?
Yes.
Like last year, we walked in that park. and-
The posters or the
Yeah.
flyers? Or
Well,
both?
both.
Both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, we
Yeah.
can plan a day for the next couple weeks to do that. Flyers are easy, I need to figure out what's going on with posters.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think that library and, I feel like those are easy ones, and also Bay Farm, like that other one, Bay Farm too,
Okay.
Library.
And the businesses,
Over in Bay Farm?
yeah, there's a library.
Yeah.
on the west side.
And then we also have banners that are gonna be made, and that'll be hanging in the playgrounds. I don't know how many.
No,
playgrounds.
so we received approval for them to hang at city halls. So they,
Just at City Hall?
we can do all of them if you want, but we have to hang them ourselves.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of places.
Gotta have a ladder.
But we can do it, we can plan,
Oh,
get some
ladders.
volunteers maybe, but yeah. We can do multiple places, I just know the priority was city halls.
Yeah.
That's what we got approval for.
And it's really pretty.
Yeah, Shelby did a
Shelby
great
did a
job.
great job.
Yeah, really.
It's lavender,
Mhm.
like the balconies.
That's
I didn't know that's why you was.
There we go.
It was actually on their United Against Hate Week color.
Yeah,
scheme.
it's all
So,
it was with the branding
yeah,
guy.
it just was
yeah.
fortunate for the Val.
Yes.
That it was similar.
Only where they made it further in the playoffs.
So, yes, so that was our report. I guess that was everything. I wanted to make sure I got that last bit in there. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Verdi.
Mine won't be nearly as long. We're waiting for November for the updated task force meeting to get direction on where to go. And basically, that's what we're doing.
You want to talk about your project?
Oh, and the mayor wrote me and asked me to consult with her on a domestic violence awareness video that she is making with Building Futures in Alameda Family Services. And I guess I'm going to hear from Sarah Henry and live some kind of Zoom call. So it was actually good to know that make sure that what we're doing and she's doing are kind of coordinated.
Yeah, that's.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Rono? We have some dates, that we're doing presentations. Let me see if I can remember, was it October 8th, right?
Mhm.
Is that the school one?
That's PPAC. Mhm.
Yeah,
So October 8th, we're gonna give the PTAC, which is all the PTA presidents for each of the schools. With the idea of rather than doing like a run home show like we have been doing, that this will be more focused on what services are available and specific to students and families in schools. And then there'll be some representatives from community organizations in the city and shrub members to kind of talk about what's out there with the hope of getting the PTA presidents more aware of services for schools. And helping them to actually have their faces and connections to the folks that are serving families. And then we're hoping that the McKinney Mentor Coordinator from the USD will also be there so that they have the connection with school, city, community, all there together. Yeah, so it'll be very different from what we've previously been doing, but the idea is still around communications and what services.
That's very good.
Yeah, so that's the October 8th meeting.
yeah, and then we have, wait, don't we have a second one? No, we don't have that's the only one. We don't want the library for,
I think we paused the library.
oh, we did,
So it was
okay.
not-
Right.
It's not.
So we have the age friendly one, the library.
Yeah.
There we go.
So
So,
I was like, yes, or did I was confused about your question.
yeah.
Wait,
I'm,
before we do H1, can I say about the volunteer thing?
yeah,
The other exciting thing is we're doing the Shrub Alameda Volunteer of the Year Award, which we will hopefully have both a youth and an adult category, and we're trying to push out the nomination process. So we have a survey, and we will celebrate the Volunteer of the Year Award on our December meeting. I guess the question is, are we gonna vote? Is that gonna be an agenda item in October for people to should we select it at the meeting or?
That's probably a good idea. So I will not be here at that meeting. I'll be out of town. But oh wait, yes, I will, because we changed
Yeah,
it.
we
So
changed
I'll
the
be here.
day.
I would recommend that you as a committee, like select similar to how you do with like the CDBG awards, like make recommendations to the committee and then you all can vote. And then you would award them in December.
So I think that
In previous years, I think all members reviewed the nominees.
It's up to you. You can do that too.
And folks are interested.
Volunteers from different organizations?
any Alamedan that is involved, so
And so who would they be, who would nominate them is the question I have.
anyone. So you could nominate you have to disclose your relationship to that person, but if you wanted to nominate your partner, you could, you know, or like if you thought they were, it's more about highlighting someone who's doing giving back in the community.
I mean, my question pertains to the folks over at the USS Hornet, because there's almost 400 volunteers over there at any given year at the Hornet. So there's a lot of volunteering over there.
Yeah.
And there's very small staff, very small staff.
Yeah.
And would they be somebody that
Yeah.
could So send me some information, because I know all the.
We just have a survey, so it's just anyone can
Send me
have.
the,
Send me that link.
Yes.
There's only a list somehow, we knew where all the agencies where we could send this to.
God.
Well, we can use the volunteer list, but,
Yeah.
but, you know, we also, we can use, you know, that volunteer list, and now we can also host it on the post.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
So if we wanna ask them, I know Adam would actually help us out with this.
You don't want to be late.
If you wanna give me materials, I'll share with him, and ask them if he can publish it.
We should do that.
We do,
Yeah.
in the questionnaire, it does say
If
like,
you want him to have up there, just forward it to me.
It's an application,
Like
like
I
you
said.
ask for their name, but like.
Well,
Just send me
but
the
then
link and I'll give.
I
you the
selection-
thing.
so I was gonna develop that
Criteria.
based on if we, depending on how many applicants we got, if we needed to have like a scale that we were evaluating. I was going to create that based on the volume.
Okay,
Cause if there's 3, maybe it will be very easy versus if
Yeah.
there was 50, then I feel like we would need a scale, so I was.
Yeah.
Gonna wait.
There's a whole lot of volunteers over there.
Yeah, but I think it's just volunteering and I don't think it's necessarily, I mean, the Hornet is just as honorable, wonderful volunteer versus the
The food bank.
Midway shelter or the food bank. It's
Food
just
bank.
about volunteering.
Right.
We're not necessarily putting a weight to the type of volunteer.
but in that case,
Yeah.
would it be the Hornet as the applicant? As
No, it'd be an
opposed to the
individual
Hornet?
and
Yeah,
an
but
hour.
The president or the CEO of the Hornet, she could put in a recommendation, or any of the other people who are actually.
Another volunteer could say, hey, I like what this person
Yeah.
does.
You
Right.
would,
Yeah.
choose.
So, but it's just more of giving back to Alameda is
Yeah.
the point,
Yeah.
and not necessarily
They,
yeah, whatever thing is your thing, we wanna celebrate that and that
yeah,
giving back.
there's and again, I bring up the Hornet only because so much of the city goes through the Hornet on any given day. Like today, they had, what was it? They had the report for Alameda for the Chamber of Commerce. So all the Chamber of Commerce people were over there at the Hornet today and dressed finely, and all the major business people from all the big and small businesses, as well as the mayor and the fire department and the chief of police. All these folks are right there and participating. So there's a lot of work in there. And
Yeah, and the Radio Society, they're also.
they're right there as well.
It's great
Yeah.
places, people that really give their time to organizations that they're passionate about that benefit our community, so
Yeah.
it's exciting.
Okay, send me that link. Just send me that link and I will pass that
I'm gonna
on.
put it, so I will just, I will put it as the,
Farm life.
I was gonna do it on Peeps, but, we'll post
Do that.
right up.
If I may, I would say that maybe there should be some sort of tie to your mission as a board or like your purpose as a board. So the Hornet, it could be related to like human relations, right? But there should be like a tie to it.
there is a
And-
question of that in the nomination,
Okay,
right?
I
Yeah,
believe so.
talking
We had
about
a,
it, have it
yeah.
tied to.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Send that link.
Okay.
That's a good thing. Thank you.
Absolutely. Put that in nomination.
Yes. But I think what we were, this emphasis, and I'm saying this as an individual, not as our group, is that we really wanted to celebrate the human relations aspect of it rather than necessarily the social service. So it's the connectivity, the giving back that I really want to highlight than necessarily the specific mission in our kind of social services lens. Is that, I mean, it's individual, just, I don't know if that speaks to the.
Yeah, and I think that's why we kept it pretty open.
Yes.
It's just-
I like the volunteer list. I like the post. I think social media. Yeah, any way we can get that out. Great. And you had another thing.
Oh, yes, just November 5th. We're doing another community listening session at the library this time. And there's a couple of groups that I really want to get to the table that I'm getting some help from people in the community to get to the table. As much as, it's interesting in Alameda, I'm learning some things by doing this. As much as Alameda has like one senior center, right? So everyone goes to Mastic, right? But that's not actually the truth. Mastic is very much like it is in Oakland or other places where it's a clubhouse and a specific group of people start going there. And there are groups of seniors who will never go there because they don't feel like that's their club. And so in some ways having it, so I don't regret having one at Mastic. I think it's important. It is a bedrock here. It's where senior programs happen. But having it at a neutral location like the library and getting people who are involved in like the Meals on Wheels programs as volunteers, people who are volunteers in the library and other places in that neutral location, I think we'll get a better, we'll see what happens in reality, but I think we'll get a little bit better participation from a wider group of people this way. That's what I'm hoping for. One interesting thing though, because as you're doing this, you connect with people, right? And with Age Friendly and the domains. And one of the groups I connected with was the Chamber of Commerce. And one thing, I had a meeting with them, and they knew all this stuff about villages, which I didn't know. I didn't know generally was really known very much in our.
That should be village.
Yeah, exactly that. So villages take a certain type of demographic to be a bedrock, and it never quite worked out in Oakland. So they ended up jumping into Ashby Village, actually, all the people from that. But basically what it is, I don't want to do a huge education on this subject, but just in a nutshell, imagine a non-housing co-op. So everyone is housed, but now we have to buy goods and services. Some of us live in nice houses but are cash poor, maybe have some disabilities. Others may be very able, maybe you're renting but have some extra money or whatever. There's all these differences, right, with seniors. So everyone has a buy-in. And so with that money that they're co-oping, they buy services that all of the group wants. Like you're buying points into the group. But if you're like really able and not a lot of money, maybe you can mow some lawns or cook someone dinner or something. And so it's kind of like a point system where people are co-opting their resources together. That's in a nutshell. It exists in Ashby Village has one. They started with 30 people. They have 450 people now. They had a fairly high buy-in at first, but they've never risen the buy-in in 15 years. What they've done instead though is they've created these tiers where like people at the lowest tier to buy in is $10 a month. And it's sliding scale, it's up to $750 a year. Anyway, I actually met with the person who's the head of the Berkeley Village earlier today. And I actually want to just start doing things in the background and figure out if this is something that's possible. You have to have a group of seniors that have some financial ability to join in to start with. That's your bedrock. You need a few homeowners who are maybe fragile or missing something in their lives. That will actually coalesce people together. So it's a really interesting concept. I think it's great that the Chamber of Commerce is interested, because if you want to do a real like equity approach on this, what you do is try to get the local business owners to seed money it, so that it wouldn't require buy-in to start with. And once it gets rolling, you find ways of keeping people in without it being a financial burden. That would be my goal. So
or local businesses which who are providing the services, give a discounted so that then you have a subscription to the services to help local businesses.
It keeps seniors independent in their own home and ability to purchase those goods and services. It's really good for business too. They probably see that, and that's why they like it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's very good.
Thank you.
I just want to acknowledge how excited you are about this, and really, it's contagious.
Yes, thank you. It is exciting. So I guess that's it. We have staff communication is item 5, 6-month staff report on the City of Oakland's housing and human services.
Thank you. So I realized you do have a presentation today, and it's by me. We have our 6-month report that I wanted to do last month, but that's when we had all our guest speakers, so I'll be doing it today. And here it is. I'm going to share screen. Okay. Trick that my friend taught me. Okay. Great. So as mentioned, this is the status report on housing and human services in the city of Alameda for you all, the Social Service Human Relations Board during your September meeting. Okay. So some background, you all are familiar that in 2021, the Road Home 5-year strategic plan was passed and accepted by City Council. This then provided a directive to staff to fulfill the strategies and goals laid out within this strategic plan. We are now getting to the tail end of the strategic plan, and we'll be starting a planning process for the next one, hopefully in the end of year, getting there, beginning of the next year. So we did have a progress report completed last year. Here outlined are the 3 goals of the original Road Home plan. So goal 1, secure housing future. Goal 2, increase access to homeless emergency response services. And goal 3, mobilize citywide response to homelessness. So when we did our evaluation of how our progress, an assessment or evaluation of the progress that we've made as of fall of last year, 2024, we found that we had made progress in almost every goal and strategy. This progress report is available online. Okay. So the housing side of housing and human services typically is related to our below market rate home ownership and rental housing programs. And I have a couple, you all have the detailed staff report that's available online publicly as well, but a couple of highlights. This is from January through June of this year. In May, a lottery was held for 6 moderate income below market rate units at Alameda Landings Bay 37 development. And since then, we have conditionally approved buyers for all 6 moderate income BMRs. The homeownership wait lists remain open, and based on construction timelines that we as a city have received, in the next 6 to 8 months, the city anticipates offering newly constructed below market rate homes for sale at about 4 properties. So for the pro housing incentive, you all may recall that Alameda has been designated as a pro housing city because of the policies that we've adopted. And we have received a conditional commitment of funding that is tied to that designation of $1 million.
Right.
So here is a long list of the many wonderful programs we have related to services and shelter for the unhoused. I'll give you all some highlights. So we had our prevention program, which we were able to provide funds to hire an additional part-time case manager or engagement specialist. And we also used that funding for aftercare services at Dignity Village. In addition, we did create a booklet, which we're calling a resources list. It's pretty comprehensive. It's available online. We have it in our office. And it's like, I don't know, 5 pages. It's like a booklet of different resources that are related to the prevention of homelessness. So it's legal aid, workforce, affordable housing leads, and things like that. So that was a big thing that we were proud to complete in the first 6 months. We continue to have our flexible funding program, our housing and human services outreach team. So the division welcomed Camille Rodriguez. She is managing the unhoused services and programs for the city. And we also welcomed Annie Flores, our engagement specialist. We did receive, during this period, we received approval from City Council to bring our outreach team in-house, and I'll be able to provide an update for how that's going at the next 6-month staff report. For library support, our engagement specialist provides support at the library 2 days per week on Tuesdays and Saturdays what is great about her being able to go to the library on Saturdays is that she's able to connect with more families and children during that time. For our emergency supportive housing, from January to June, the houses served 25 clients and 17 households. For Dignity Village, since opening, they have served 113 unduplicated individuals and moved 32 individuals into permanent housing. The warming shelter closed in March, the last day of March, and on average, they served about 15 people per night. They have 25 beds. And during that, what am I trying to say? The winter warming shelter also offered case management. So Building Futures would come in and do housing assessments as well. Alrighty, shower and laundry continues to be offered weekly by We Hope at the Village of Love, and Christ Episcopal Church also offers their shower program on a weekly basis and twice during the winter warming shelter months. This is a picture of a client that was working with our division for years. And one of our case managers was able to break through to her, and she's now housed.
Small steps.
Yep. Okay. So goal 3, mobilize citywide response to homelessness. We always have a mention of how like the existence of our division and what we do is pretty much related to mobilizing citywide response, because we work with other departments and social service providers. And our mission as a division is to facilitate affordable housing and support residents who are homeless or at risk of homelessness. The collaborative process aspect, we continue to have to support 2 recurring social service provider meeting spaces, which is coordinated outreach team, and the CARES team, which is the collaboration for advancing resource efforts and supports for Alameda's homeless. This is a few of us doing a site visit from the CARES team. You might recognize a couple of us.
The tall, handsome fellow.
Or you have the white beard.
Yeah. And then the Community Development Block Grant Social Service Awards, you all participated in the review of those applications earlier this year. The request for proposals went out on January 16th, and final recommendations were presented to City Council at the May 6th public hearing, or City Council meeting. And the recommendations were approved by Council for funding for 2 consecutive years. Staff recommended, based on your all's recommendation, to fund the top 5 applicants for this funding cycle. And next time you all will hear updates from July through December. I am really going to try to do it in January. And that will be the final phase of our current strategic plan.
So we'll be ramping up for the next one.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And my recommendation or staff recommendation is to accept the status report on housing and human services in the city of Alameda. The end.
Thank you.
Thank you for your report.
Takes a long time to get these things moving. Not simple.
Yeah.
And it definitely has lots of wheels moving, so I understand.
All right, we have, item 6 is for board communications, non-agenda, and I have one thing I want to bring up, and that's, I'm going to send the mayor an email about this vacancy that we have.
Yeah, please.
We really need it filled, especially now, you know, I brought it each time, he's like, extra work item, and here's, and Bernie's like working on his own basically on this, so we really need that person.
Thank you.
If anyone has any thoughts about what, any kind of other thing they were gonna add to the request, I have a little odd thing I'm gonna put in the request. And that's that we're missing, I'm really into the generational things, we don't have any representation of Gen X at all on this, So I was just gonna see if that's someone who at this point would be between 40 and 55.
It's Gen X.
That's Gen X, we have no representation.
That's me.
That's right. What?
How about younger?
No, you're,
Are you really?
yes.
There's our bucket.
I thought, well, I actually thought you were in your mid-30s. I apologize for thinking you were much younger.
Because it goes to 1982.
Okay, well, actually, that's close enough. Then that's good enough. I thought you were younger. I thought we didn't have anyone in that age group, so I won't put that in there. That's splitting hairs a little too much,
But-
but yeah, but that's really, I'm sorry, I missed.
Get the
this age
millennials
group.
in, put them the millennials in.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, see, now we have that. I thought you were.
I think Gen Z.
Gen Z.
That would be a suggestion.
That would, I will say, one of the things that I feel challenged as this committee, as someone who like works full time, I find this, I feel like I can't contribute as much as I can't, because just the meetings are during the day, if you're working, I feel bad in my ability to contribute, because a lot of our meetings are during the daytime, and if you're working and don't have that flexibility, that can be challenging.
Yeah, but we need somebody who's part of the community and maybe even, I mean, Gen Z is one thing, but being on the ground, somebody who's not necessarily in the.
Hire people who are working on your boards.
Right.
That's your goal.
Right.
You are.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think that would be a real.
No, I'm not saying, I feel bad. It's more my own, a stage, my own guilt.
No, I hear you. That's because you're a person of integrity, but I think you do great. No, I'm serious. You do a great job here, so don't feel bad about that. And, yeah, but if there's any other type of, a diversity or anything that requests or any focus or anything anyone wants me to add, let me know, but I do tend to ask. For us to please.
Get a new board member.
Yeah.
We need a new board member.
Is that Matt?
I still have my
Is that
run.
Matt?
Yeah, Max's number, yeah, so we should have, yeah. And it's not hurting us too bad now, but if like one of us suddenly left, we definitely feel it at that
Yeah.
point, so we don't wanna get to that point.
No.
So, is there any other board communications, non-agenda item?
I went to the show. It was
Very
wonderful.
Comprehend.
Yeah, it was really wonderful. The whole thing that, I think the one thing that struck me the most about the program was they talked about Russellville. Now, if you don't know where,
At the Oakland Museum.
Open Museum has a program called Black Spaces Reclaim and Remain. It's a wonderful program where they've got all of the different exhibits of Oakland and how race was basically pushed around and pushed out of all the neighborhoods that they were in, using things like eminent domain as a way to take away the land of the people who were there. And so very fascinating to watch as they talked about the neighborhoods like West Oakland and all the company, the businesses and the families that got basically their whole stuff was jacked. They took their stuff out of their places, they stuck them in the trucks and they put them on into storage places that they had to make them pay for. And since they couldn't, there goes their stuff. But the thing that got me was Russellville. And if you haven't heard of Russellville, that means they did their job well, because Russellville was actually a piece of unincorporated land between Hayward and Oakland that was the only place since the 1800s all the way through. That was the only place that Black people could basically have their families, and they built village type living. They didn't have any running water or electricity, and yet they made it work. And then with the use of eminent domain, the city promptly told them, we're going to be putting in new services here. We'll make sure there's electricity and water. And all you guys got to do is just let us come in and do it. And they said, sure. And they said, well, we'll be taking you guys out of here while we do it. And they built a business park. And that place that was Russellville, that was home to many people for many generations, is now a place where you can get your tires changed, or some other small business that absolutely did not bring community together. And so That was the one thing that struck me. If you don't get to go to the show, you can look up Russellville online. But those two things, there was a news report about the lady who was watching it. They were taking all of her stuff out of her shop. And she was basically being interviewed by the news reporter. And then they talked to the gentleman from Bart and he said, oh yeah, we're gonna be putting all of her stuff into storage. And she was like, well, I don't know where storage is, but I'm sure they'll be taking care of it. And he went and basically said, yeah, no, we're not paying for the storage for any of this stuff. They will be responsible for the stuff that we took out of there. And of course, if you were poor Black and you were living in that neighborhood and your store is all you were using to make your money, you no longer have any money. So how are you gonna pay for it? So it was a very fascinating show. Let me know when you want to go out buy
Yeah,
another ticket. You guys should all come. We don't have to make it something, but everybody should see that show. It was very, very interesting. There was a lot to see. There was a lot. So that was
And then there's a plug, it's Alameda Pride on October 11th. There's a bunch of activities going on. Just pulled up the picture that I took of the flyer. There's a Pride fun run in the morning from Elks Lodge. And then there's Pride in the Park in Chichonia from noon to 5, very fun. And there's a block party from 6 to 9 at Alameda Ave between Park and Oak.
Can't believe it's been a year.
I know, and so it looks, the Pride in the Park is really a fun activity too.
yeah, I remember.
That's a Fleet Week and that same day, and I think they're doing a 250th anniversary of the Navy at the Hornet too.
Yes, as a matter of fact, they
So it is action-packed day, celebrating a lot of things.
yes.
Anything else? Okay, well, I guess that means we can adjourn the meeting officially at 8:06 PM.
Yes. Oh, so